Hello and welcome to the Deep Dive. We dig into stacks of sources to pull out those nuggets of knowledge, helping you get better informed. Today, we're tackling three big modern challenges. They seem distinct, but they're definitely connected. We'll explore that tricky thing called emotional dumping, then dive into how we see aging, personally and societally. And finally, we'll navigate the digital minefield of spammers and scammers. Our mission, to give you some practical insights and help understand the human stuff behind these, frankly, common frustrations. Okay, let's get into it. Let's kick things off with something I think, most of us have felt. That invisible drain, emotional dumping.
Yeah.
You know, when someone rings you up or sits down and just starts offloading everything without even a, hey, is now a good time?
Oh, absolutely. It's a classic boundary issue, isn't it? And it feels like a wave almost, a tsunami of just negative stuff washing over you. And the tricky part is, how do you stop it? Politely, I mean, without insulting them, even though, frankly, they're not respecting your time.
Yeah, trying to disengage or just change the subject.
Yeah.
It's tough. I had this happen recently. Someone booked a call, supposed to be 30 minutes, salesy stuff. 2.5 hours later, they were still going. Hard sell.
Wow. 2.5 hours?
Yeah. And because you try to be courteous, right?
Yeah.
It was so hard to stop it. I eventually had to say, look, I've got another Zoom starting in 5. I really have to go.
Mm-hmm. But they pushed back, I bet.
Oh, yeah. They just wouldn't let it drop. It was, a perfect example of that boundary problem.
That's exactly it. That's the courtesy trap we fall into. Society kind of pushes this, doesn't it? Be nice, be available, makes setting boundaries feel almost wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
You even see it in workplaces, like the open door policy and leadership. It sounds great, right? Anyone can pop in.
Sure, it seems positive.
But the reality, managers are stuck there till 10 p.m. trying to catch up on their own work because they've been interrupted all day. People take advantage of that framework.
That's a really interesting point about taking advantage of the framework.
Yeah.
But you mentioned a distinction earlier between someone genuinely needing help versus this habitual dumping. How can you, listening, tell the difference? What separates real distress from that internal toxin vat thing you mentioned?
That's such a crucial point. Look, if someone is genuinely in distress, truly needs support, most of us, I think, would drop everything. We'd listen. That's empathy. That's connection. But the one-way dump, the toxin vat, that's different. That's when it's just habitual. Someone's constantly churning out their frustrations. Often they're not even looking for a solution or your input, really. It's just venting, an ingrained pattern.
So it's less about an urgent need.
Exactly. It's more about this routine offloading. You have to ask, what's the point for them just regurgitating the problem over and over? Sometimes all that does is anchor them deeper into the problem. No progress, no solution, just churning.
Okay, so how do we empower ourselves, empower you listening, to handle this better? What are some practical things we can actually do?
Well, one key thing is to gently teach the people around you to ask permission first.
Ask permission.
Yeah. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. It's about re-educating them subtly about your boundaries. So instead of just launching in, they learn to ask, hey, would you be available for a few minutes? Or got time for a quick chat?
And then you can respond honestly.
Precisely. And critically, you can put a time frame on it. You can say, sure, I've got about 5 minutes right now. That completely changes the dynamic. It's not a one-way download anymore. It becomes a respectful, mutual exchange.
That really does reframe it.
Yeah.
Okay, beside the time frame, what else? Can you ask the dumper questions to shift things?
Definitely. You can try asking things like, how can I help you with this? Or maybe prompt them to think, what outcome are you hoping for by sharing this?
Getting them to think about purpose.
Right. Because just as we said, regurgitating often anchors them deeper. You're gently guiding them towards something more productive. And context matters too, obviously. A party isn't the place for someone's entire life story and list of woes.
Right, read the room.
Exactly. There are specific places for that. We run something called the Campfire Project, which is exactly for that, a dedicated space for deeper sharing in a supported way. But not every casual chat needs to become that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And this habitual dumping, it takes a toll, doesn't it, on both people?
Oh, hugely. You shouldn't just keep going to the same person over and over again with the same stuff. It drains them.
I remember you mentioning an anecdote about a client.
Yeah.
Someone who used to dump on their partner every single night and learned to detox during the day. How did that work?
Yes. This client, it was like clockwork. Come home, unload everything from the day onto their partner. The partner literally started bracing themselves for it. You know, that feeling of dread when the door opens.
Oh, wow.
So this client learned to process things throughout the day. Little conversations, small releases of frustration here and there, manageable chunks. And by doing that, the nightly dump stopped. And it genuinely changed their marriage. Less tension, healthier dynamic, a small shift, big impact.
That's amazing. Really shows how these patterns affect relationships. And as you think about cultural norms, too. I remember you telling me something funny once about a psychiatrist and Dutch patients being maybe a bit direct.
Ah, yes. Well, my background's Dutch, and there is, let's say, a cultural tendency towards directness, sometimes very direct. This psychiatrist, maybe jokingly, maybe not, commented on finding it challenging because in their view, they could be quite negative or blunt. It led to a funny, slightly stereotypical debate about which nationalities are the best negative.
Ah, that sounds like a fun, maybe slightly dangerous debate to have.
Definitely stirs the pot, but it just shows how differently cultures handle expressing frustration or negativity.
Indeed. Okay, let's shift gears. Moving from emotional dumping to another really fascinating, often tricky area. Aging. The art of living, embracing it gracefully.
Yeah, it's something we all face, isn't it? And there's definitely a societal obsession with youth in some places, particularly what you might call New World countries, thinking Australia, the US, places perhaps less bound by older traditions compared to, say, Europe.
Right, and you see it so clearly.
You do. It's all about Botox, cosmetic surgery. Look at actors. Some are just Botox to an inch of their lives.
It really is a stark contrast with Europe, isn't it? You watch European films, and people look, well, they look their age.
Yeah.
They seem to own it more. I remember years ago, I must have been in my early 40s, someone telling me, oh, now's the time you should start Botox. I was shocked. Why do you think there's such a difference?
That's a really good question. Part of it might be those deeper cultural values. Older European societies maybe have a bit more reverence for the wisdom and experience that comes with age. Newer societies might focus more on, external vitality, appearance. But here's where it gets really interesting. The paradox of Botox and empathy.
Oh, how does that work?
Well, Botox literally impacts your ability to empathize. It freezes or reduces those tiny micro muscle movements in your face. And those movements are absolutely essential for mirroring other people's emotions, which is how we connect and understand them nonverbally.
Wow. So what does that mean for actors then? If their job is conveying emotion.
It's completely counterproductive. That's the great irony. You hear stories about actors in Hollywood struggling to get work because they've had so much Botox. They literally can't express the required emotions anymore. Their faces don't move properly.
That's wild.
It is, because we know in communication, the actual words are only part of it. So much comes from the nonverbals, the facial expressions. If you can't show nuance, how can you act? How can we truly read you?
And it makes you think about what we consider beautiful as people age. I often talk about those lines around the eyes.
Crow's feet.
I call them laughter lines. I tell people, especially women, those lines show a life lived, their beauty that goes right down to the bone.
I completely agree. You don't get those lines unless you've smiled a lot, laughed a lot. It reflects something beautiful inside, doesn't it?
It really does.
And compare that to someone who's had so much work done, they barely look human sometimes. Just frozen.
Yeah, that mask-like look. It's unsettling. There's a real beauty in seeing the lines of experience in someone's eyes around their face. It shows their journey.
It shows the life they've lived. That history is truly beautiful, I think.
So what's the takeaway for us? How should we think about aging?
I think it's about reframing. Instead of dreading another year older, maybe think of it as another year of experience, another year on the planet.
A privilege, really?
Exactly. As the saying goes, better than the alternative, right? Still on the right side of the grass. It's about valuing the journey, the experience gained.
I like that perspective. Okay, let's shift again. From aging gracefully to something distinctly less graceful, navigating the digital Wild West. Spammers and scammers. Ugh.
Oh, don't get me started. The rise is just prolific, isn't it?
It really is. Video emails, random connection requests on LinkedIn, Facebook, emails promising you the moon. It's constant.
It's genuinely gotten scary. So many people I know just don't want to open emails anymore. Or at least the first reflex is always suspicion.
Absolutely. Check the sender address immediately.
Yep. I got one yesterday. Looked like it was from MyGov, the government portal here in Australia. Check the address. Nope. Straight in the bin.
And the fear is real. Because with AI getting so sophisticated, One wrong click on a link.
And they can get into your system, install malware, redirect you to these incredibly convincing fake login pages, steal everything. It's frightening.
It is. And it's sad that our default assumption now is often, this is probably a scam, which means sometimes.
You miss the real things. Like you said, a car registration reminder, something actually important.
Exactly. And there is a difference, I suppose, between spammers just trying to sell stuff and scammers with actual malicious intent.
True, but both are unsolicited, both waste our time. They haven't earned any know, like, or trust. Why should we engage?
So practical defenses. What can you do?
Well, like we said, always check the sender's email address. Don't just trust the display name. And if there's a link, hover your mouse over it. Don't click, just hover. See what the actual web address is underneath.
Look for the trickery.
Yes, they're sneaky. They'll swap an O for a zerodil or an L for a 11. Tiny changes hoping you'll skim past it. They exploit that automatic trust.
Good tip. And in the email itself, any red flags in the greeting?
Oh, yeah, those super generic ones. Hi there, or suddenly they're calling you legend or champion, unless it's someone you know really well.
Right, then it sounds fake.
Exactly. If I see that from someone I don't know, I don't even read the rest. Delete.
Me too. Straight to delete. I've even set up email rules for known spammers. Just automatically delete. I never even see them hit the inbox.
That's smart. Saves time and energy. It's ironic, though, isn't it? Sometimes the banks say they're protecting you, but often their systems let the dodgy stuff happen, or they can't stop transfers quickly enough.
True. And it's not just email, is it? This social media cloning, account hijacking. That seems huge now. How does that actually work?
Yeah, the cloning thing is fascinating and sneaky. Often they don't actually hack your account. That's too hard. They just duplicate it. They create a new profile, maybe slightly changing the name, steal your public photos, copy some of your bio or posts.
Yeah.
Then they go through your friends list and start sending friend requests to your friends.
Oh, clever. Because your friends see your face.
And they just click accept, thinking it's you maybe updating your profile or something. They don't check closely.
Okay, so what should you do if you spot a fake profile of a friend or worse, of yourself?
Right. First step, contact the real friend. Use a different method, text, phone call, whatever. Let them know immediately. Second, report the fake account to Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever it is.
Okay.
But here's a key thing. Don't block it right away. Report it first. If you block it, you can't see it anymore, so you can't check later if the platform actually took it down.
Good point. Keep it visible to monitor.
Exactly. Then, once reported, maybe let other mutual friends know, especially if you see they've already accepted the fake request. Hey, just so you know, that other profile isn't real.
Spread the word.
Yep. Make the scammer's effort useless. I had a friend whose account got cloned, and loads of my friends had accepted the fake. I had to message them all. I even know someone who was messaging back and forth with a cloned account thinking it was their friend for ages. Had no clue.
Oh, man.
And then there's actual hijacking, where they do get into your account. That's devastating. Friends losing years of photos, contacts, business pages. Because platforms like Instagram sometimes make it incredibly hard to get your account back, even with proof. The verification is a nightmare.
This whole thing, the cloning, the scams, it really makes you wonder about the ethics or the lack thereof. What drives someone to do that? Just steal someone's identity. I can't wrap my head around it.
It does raise that big question, doesn't it? Is there just this ethical void? Are people really so greedy or, I don't know, evil sounds strong, but so willing to disregard someone else entirely for game? And I get really nervous about these verified systems too, you know, where platforms ask for your passport or driver's license to prove who you are.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Me neither. Especially now with AI. Imagine giving them your passport photo and details. They can create deepfakes, counterfeit documents. The risk of serious identity theft skyrockets. No way.
So why do these fake accounts and sites stick around then?
Well, partly it's probably public apathy, like you said. People get annoyed, they might delete the message, but they don't take the extra step to report it.
So it just persists.
Right. So here's a proactive tip for everyone listening. Go search your own name on Facebook, on LinkedIn. See what comes up.
See if there's more than one of you.
Exactly. If your photo pops up on a profile you don't recognize, investigate. Report it. Because it's really only when we band together, when lots of us report this stuff, that we can make a dent, make their lives harder, make it not worth their while.
There's power in collective action. It reminds me of those old sayings about trust. You know, trust no one, travel by night.
Or the other one, trust everybody, but lock up your camels at night.
Exactly. Be trusting, but be smart. Be vigilant. Check those email addresses. Hover over those links. Don't just click. Scammers rely on us being too busy or too trusting.
They really do. Always check the source.
Wow. We've covered a lot. From that silent frustration of emotional dumping, through grappling with aging in a youth-obsessed world, to fighting off the digital wolves, spammers and scammers. What really stands out to you listening from all this? Remember, whether it's about setting those boundaries, maybe by teaching people to ask first, or embracing the journey of aging and seeing the value in experience, or just being super vigilant online, it all comes down to building respect, understanding, protecting ourselves, but also fostering genuine connection where we can. One conversation, one careful click at a time. So as you go about your week, maybe think, how consciously will you approach your interactions, both real world and digital? How will you protect yourself while still staying open to real connection? Something to mull over.